Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to do 10 more underrated movies. I really like doing these underrated movies. I think you guys do too. These are some of the more watched, more viewed videos on the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at 10 movies, in my opinion, because all this is my opinion, because it's based off of my collection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at 10 underrated, 10 underloved movies in my personal opinion. Start with Death Sentence, starring Kevin Bacon. This movie was absolutely, I'll be honest with you, this was the first time I saw Kevin Bacon in a movie like this. Now, I'm not saying Kevin Bacon can't do action. He clearly can. But I never saw him in a movie like this, where he took on this type of role. Kevin Bacon has always been the good guy, a straight good guy. This one, he's a good guy, but he's very vengeful. Rightfully so with what happened in the beginning of the movie. But it just showed a really darker side to Kevin Bacon, and he pulled it off excellently. Real quick, so Kevin Bacon and his son was coming from, I do believe, it was coming from a game. Not sure what sport it was. I think it was hockey. I'm not sure. They was coming from a game. I think his son was in the game. They stopped off at a store to get gas in a real bad part of town. He stopped. I'm not sure why he stopped off there. Maybe he ran out of gas, but his son went into the store to get some snacks. And it was a robbery going down. They shot his son point blank range with a shotgun for no reason at all. Absolutely no reason. Cold blood kill. Kevin Bacon, he was an upstanding man. He was a businessman, I do believe. Lived a typical, white collar lifestyle, So it really destroyed him to see his son killed. Well, he didn't see it, but to know his son was killed in that fashion so close to him and he couldn't do anything about it. He went out for revenge to take down this gang one by one. It didn't have a really great ending, but it was a good movie. And I would suggest you check out Death Sentence, especially if you're a Kevin Bacon fan, because I didn't know he did this movie until I actually picked it up real cheap I do believe I picked this up from a Hollywood Video back in the day. So that's Death Sentence. That was a really good movie if you're a Kevin Bacon fan. Next up is another one that I really dug this movie. You got Annabella Sciorra, I do believe that's her name, and Rebecca De Mornay. You got, I think, who else is in here? Ernie Hudson might be in here. Was that Ernie Hudson? Anyway, yeah, I think Ernie Hudson is in here too. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Now, I remember going to the theater to see this one many, many moons ago. This was a really good movie. So what you got here, you got a doctor who is, he's a gynecologist, but he's doing things he shouldn't be doing to his patients. One patient spoke out, got him in trouble, rightfully so. She wasn't wrong. She was the victim. But the wife was scorned because she lost everything. When the husband went to jail, I think he might have killed himself. I think the doctor, he couldn't take the backlash. I think he killed himself, and the wife lost everything. So the wife went out on a mission to destroy this couple. In her mind, they destroyed her life. It was fantastic. So she basically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she might have got hired as like a nanny for this family or something like that. Good movie. It's a great suspense thriller. And it never really got a lot of love. This movie, even when it first came out, it never really got the love that it deserved. If you like thrillers, this is one of the best thrillers you can watch. It's really good. And that's The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Trust, here we go right here. Trust is her weapon. Innocence is her opportunity. Revenge, her only desire. She is out for revenge in her own twisted way. In her own twisted mind. Because she's really twisted. Her husband just wasn't right for what he was doing. But she's not trying to hear that. Next up, we have an oldie but goodie. Sandra Bullock in The Net. So, again, this is typical for this era. Conspiracy, somebody, a worker or somebody, an analyst discovering something they shouldn't have discovered. And so, again, this is back when computers was just starting to become like a mainstream thing. She discovered something that she shouldn't have discovered. And she basically got deleted off the grid. All traces of her digital identity got erased. Driver's license, social security number, everything. Her whole life basically got deleted. Fantastic movie. She was on the run to try to get her life back. Fantastic movie. It's called The Net. This is an oldie but goodie, trust me. When we talk about Denzel Washington movies, this one never comes up. I mean, never. And it's a really good movie. Now, it's a little bit different than a lot of Denzel's movies, but it's still a good one. You got Denzel Washington, Meg Ryan, and you got some other guys in here that was really young before their careers took off. And this one is called Courage Under Fire. This movie was really good. It was about a disgraced, Denzel Washington was a disgraced Army officer who basically was a commander of a tank team. And he fired on a friendly tank, killing the tank crew. And that weight, you can see he's a really destroyed man. That weight bothers him throughout the entirety of the movie. Now, he's an investigator at this point. He's out of the field. He's investigating what happened to Meg Ryan's character, who was, I do believe she was a medic, or she was a commander of a unit, and she sacrificed her life to save her unit. But it didn't really come out that way, and he was there to uncover the truth, what really happened with her, while battling his own demons. And he made amends with his demons at the end of the movie. Courage Under Fire is a great movie. It is a fantastic Denzel Washington movie. If you want to see a Denzel Washington movie that you may not have seen before, you might want to go ahead and check this one out. It's solid. Next up, we have one that I just absolutely love. And, you know, it's a shame because a lot of this guy's movies don't come out. A lot of his movies don't come up. And he got some good ones. He got a lot of good ones. But this is one that I particularly care about because I like the messaging in this one. And this one is called Jet Li's Fearless. Fearless is one of the best Jet Li. Well, to me, this is the best Jet Li movie that I've seen. Now, I do like, you know, kung fu movies, karate movies, those type of action movies. I don't have a lot of them, but I do enjoy them. I don't go out of my way to buy a lot of them, but I do have a few in my collection, and this is by far one of the best that I've ever seen. From what I understand, it's based on a true story or loosely based on a true story. So Jet Li is a martial artist, and he's a master of a dojo. I don't know if they called him. He was a master of like a school or something. And he was, you know, basically in that town he was in, he was basically Billy Badass. And he wanted to, and there was another master, a rival master, and they had like a beef, and Jet Li basically disturbed this man's birthday party to challenge him to a fight in front of his family on his birthday. And that culture at the time when I was watching the movie, it looked like it was deemed disrespectful to do that. But he did it anyway. Fought the man, killed the man on his birthday, and I think it was his nephew, out of revenge, killed Jet Li's entire family. And then it hurt him real bad, so he left the town, went on a mission to heal his mind and get over everything and, you know, reinvigorate his interest. And he came back a new man with a renewed purpose. The ending was sad, but it was a good movie. And it taught us a valuable lesson about arrogance. Good movie. You'll like this one. This movie really teaches you that arrogance can be deadly. Next up, I'm going to give you a twofer. This is technically 11 movies, but this is a 10 underrated movies. I just want to show you something that I know for a fact a lot of people don't know about. Well, I'm not going to say a fact. That was pretty stupid to say, but I know that there's a handful of people watching who don't know about the second part that I'm going to show you. You know about this one, but it's still underrated. So we're going to talk about Capote. And this movie is based on Truman Capote, a great author who wrote what he's known for. The book that he's most known for is In Cold Blood. Now, he has quite a few literary arts under his belt, works, I should say. But he's best known for In Cold Blood, based on a true story. The movie is fantastic. He's basically going to prison. He's getting the information from the guys, one of the suspects who did the killing that night. Philip Seymour Hoffman, his acting in this was phenomenal. And I don't really hear people talking about this movie. Capote was excellent. Now, this was made just for TV. And I thought it was really good. Anthony Edwards, Eric Roberts, and Sam Neill stars in Cold Blood. This is the movie based on this movie, the book. So basically, you got Capote based on Truman Capote in the book In Cold Blood. This movie here is based on the actual book In Cold Blood. So it's a twofer. So if you watch Capote and then you turn around and watch In Cold Blood, you'll have a really good understanding of both. So that's why I throw them both together. And this was a made-for-TV movie. That's why I said a lot of people might not know about this one. You may or you may not. Next up, we have a horror movie that I thought at the time was good, and I still think it's good. And it's called Ghost Ship. This is a DVD with a nice lenticular cover. You didn't see a lot of lenticular covers back in the DVD day. You did, but not a whole lot. You see way more lenticular covers with Blu-rays and 4Ks with the slips. They get a lot more creative with the slips. But this isn't a slip. This is the actual cover. See what I'm saying? So that was pretty cool. I like that. Ghost Ship is a really decent horror movie. It's not top tier. It's probably mid tier. And it was a theatrical release. It was a good movie. It had plenty of scary moments. This was more, in my opinion, this wasn't really psychologically scary to me. This one it had a lot of just violent kills, especially the one on the deck with the support ropes, the steel support ropes that just basically cut everybody in the damn dance hall in half. Man, this movie was good. I mean, this was a really good horror movie that's really underrated. It never comes up in horror movie discussions, and I don't see why. It was good. Next up is one that I debated putting this on the list because I don't think it's underrated. I mean, I do, but I don't. This might be one, the next two actually might be considered curveballs for y'all. Let me know what y'all think. But this movie came right after Batman Begins. It's a Christopher Nolan movie. And real quick, Christopher Nolan, wait a minute. Yes. He rejected doing a sequel to Batman Begins. He didn't want to do any more Batman movies. He said he didn't want to be known for Batman movies. He wanted to be known for Christopher Nolan movies. So he turned that down flat. He flat out turned it down because the studio wanted him to get to work on the Batman sequel right after the success of Batman Begins. But he said no, he didn't want to do it. Instead, he made this, The Prestige. Oh, man. Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine. This movie right here, look, Scarlett Johansson. The Prestige is a banger. Straight up and down. There's no other way to get around it. But again, this movie, I don't think is super underrated, but I don't think it get the love that it actually deserves. This is one hell of a movie right here. Anything with Michael Caine in it is gold, in my opinion. I love Michael Caine. I think he's just a classic actor. He's a traditional classic actor. And I think Christian Bale is going to be remembered years to come as a classic traditional actor as well. Hugh Jackman is in a different, Hugh Jackman too. But I think, as far as being a classic actor, I think Christian Bale is more of a classic actor than Hugh Jackman. Not taking anything from Hugh Jackman. But yes, The Prestige, a fantastic movie. Very, very, very entertaining. So basically, sidebar real quick. So Christopher Nolan didn't want to do any more Batman movies. After he did The Prestige, the idea was pitched to take The Long Halloween and adapt it to a movie. He did that. So that idea of having the Joker come in as the main bad guy, he actually read the source material for A Long Halloween, and it intrigued him. And he came on board and he did The Dark Knight, and he made basically comic book movie history with that movie. So that's that. So the break between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, we got The Prestige, because Christopher Nolan didn't want to do any more Batman movies, but he did. Next up is one, and this is the second one. I said the next two. I'm going to go ahead and put this up because, again, when we talk about Tom Cruise, I don't hear nobody talk about this. Now, Tom Cruise, to be fair, Tom Cruise got a lot of good movies. A lot. I mean, he's mainly known for two franchises, and because I can say it's a franchise now because it's two of them. But he's mainly known for Mission Impossible and Top Gun. But he's got a lot of other stuff out there. I mean, also a lot of people like Vanilla Sky. I was a little lukewarm on Vanilla Sky. I thought it was okay, but I was a little lukewarm on that one. Some of my favorite Tom Cruise movies outside of Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick and, of course, the Mission Impossible franchise. I like The Firm. I thought The Firm was good. We're going to go all the way back in the day to Risky Business. I wouldn't call myself a super duper Tom Cruise fan. I know that's weird because he's got so much work out there, but he's not one of my favorites. He's good, but he's just not one of my favorites. But this is one that when you talk about Tom Cruise, it don't really come up. And again, people always go to A Few Good Men. Him and Jack Nicholson, Kevin Bacon, a great movie. But here's one, The Minority Report. This is a really good Tom Cruise movie. I mean, you got Tom Cruise, Colin Farrell. Fantastic movie. It's about basically future crime. And we all know that this concept isn't new in movies. You got this, you got Time Cop, and I think there's a couple other movies talking about future crime. What else is another movie about future crime? No, I can't think of any right now, but Minority Report is a great movie. It's all about pre-crime. I think it was called Pre-Crime was the name of the department that he was in. And he had the really cool screen with the goggles and he could move things around. They basically predicted crimes that was going to happen. And you got locked up for a crime you didn't commit. It was weird, but the way they brought it together, it was a solid movie. And of course, they had they had 3 humans, and then they were called precogs. All the information they got was from their minds. They had the precogs in like this solution with all kinds of things strapped to them. And one of the precogs, the female precog, she basically got unplugged from whatever system that was. Oh, it was a great movie. You'll love it. And come to find out, his mentor and his friend was the bad guy. Really good movie. Very underrated. Tom Cruise's Minority Report. I actually went to the theater to see that one when it first came out. Next up, last but not least, this is a newer movie that I picked up. And I really spoke very highly of this at my collection update where I picked this up on the last collection update video, but I'm going to bring it into this one. It's called The Harvest. I need you guys to check this one out. This is a phenomenal movie. So like I said in the collection update video, you got this boy here who was raised as their son, but this boy here in the medical, hooked up to the IV and the thing on his nose, he's the real son. And this little girl right here, she befriended him. And this is the mom, and this is Michael Shannon, who plays the dad. So basically, this movie it's deep. I mean, it's crazy. It's the mom is a doctor. I'm not sure what the dad is. So what they did was they abducted this little boy as a baby from the hospital. I'm assuming the hospital she worked in. I'm assuming. It was never said. That was never said in the movie. But it was said that he was abducted. Well, he was basically abducted as a baby. I think he was born with a condition or he got really sick. And what they did was they had him basically, it looked like that he was in like a medical coma. She put him in a medical coma to keep him alive. And all the while they was raising him and doing treatments on him, giving him medications that have him think that he was a cripple, but he really wasn't. They was doing that to harvest organs and tissues and things from him for him. And then when he got to a certain point where he could take a massive surgery, I'm not sure what that was, when he got old enough where his body got strong enough where he could take this one massive surgery, they was basically going to kill him and harvest whatever this boy needed. I'm not sure if it was his heart or whatever, and do the transplant in the damn basement of a house. But anyway, what happened was this girl somehow, she used to always sneak over. And one day she snuck over and the mom came home, so she was hidden in a closet. And she basically worked her way down to the basement of the house where she discovered this boy. And from there, she went home, jumped on the computer like young kids nowadays are very savvy. She did a couple Google searches, figured out a few things, came back and told him, oh, man, this movie was good. I mean, it's called The Harvest. You need to go ahead and check this one out. So that's 10 movies that I think is underrated. A little bit longer than my normal underrated video. I went into a little bit of detail about some of this stuff. Now, like I started doing in the last one, out of all 10 of these, which one would I recommend you go see first? I would recommend you see The Harvest first. I would recommend you go out and grab a copy of The Harvest. I'm not sure what streaming network this is on. It's a Scream Factory release, so I'm not sure where you can stream it if you're into streaming, but I picked this particular one up off of eBay. I'm not sure what brick and mortar stores that have it, but you need to check this one out. This is one that you will not... This is one you will not regret buying and adding to your collection. It's called The Harvest. Fantastic movie. So that's 10 underrated movies. I hope you enjoy this list. I'll see you in the next one.